day I graduated Wilderness was the first day in the past 92 days that I was allowed to take a shower.
Became severely dehydrated. They told me I was attention seeking.
I had to be handcuffed.
Wrap you up in a plastic tarp.
He threatened me and forced me into a basement where I was kept for several days.
Speaking about abuse was not delivered to them.
And there are countless more stories like these, highlighting the abuses in the so-called troubled teen industry, which describes therapeutic residential treatment facilities for kids ages 5 to 18. So why is it so hard to hold these facilities accountable? To answer that, I spoke to Meg Applegate, CEO of Unsilenced, an org focused on stopping institutional child abuse.
Across the board, there are allegations of sexual assault, physical, medical, and emotional neglect, civil rights violations, and even death. It's multiple prong on how and why these programs are so hard to not only hold accountable, but also shut down. When you are in these facilities, there is no phone that you can go grab and call a child abuse hotline. You are not afforded any advocate that knows your rights. There's no federal regulation at all. So regulation is really left up to states. There's a shuffling of kids ending up in the states with more programs, and those states tend to be the states that have lax regulations when it comes to protecting children. Then we have the fact that many of these programs are either nonprofits or backed by private equity. Nonprofits, let's say religious academies, don't have certain reporting requirements. You can do certain strange behaviors or abusive behaviors and say, that's my religion. Then we have private equity. Their one goal is to increase profit margins. We're talking about $23 billion in public funds going toward funding this abuse.
In 2023, Meg's team at Unsilenced was able to get a notorious facility in Utah called Diamond Ranch Academy shut down after a teen in its care died from medical neglect.
Taylor Goodridge passed away on December 20th, 2022, and what was said to the media is that she just dropped dead. I ended up doing a TikTok announcing that there was a death at Diamond Ranch Academy. For whatever reason, that TikTok went viral. I got lots and lots of information that said and alleged that she had been sick and vomiting for weeks at a time, and that it had gotten so bad she had even collapsed in her own vomit. She was begging to go to the doctor, and she was told that she was being dramatic. She did not just drop dead, she died of sepsis, which takes a long time and is treated with antibiotics far before it reaches sepsis. Really what Unsilenced did that made the most difference, I believe, is activated the community. We gave them a hub to tell their stories to.
Now, Unsilenced has taken on a new case of a 12-year-old boy who died in a North Carolina wilderness camp called Trails Carolina.
He was found cold, stiff, in full rigor mortis, and he was in a sleeping bag and then in a bivvy, which is kind of a sleeping bag tent. We do know that this does not seem something that would be natural. So we're trying to put as much pressure as we can to hold them accountable for the things they've done, not just for the death, but it's bringing all the other abuse that finally they feel okay with saying because they feel validated by, unfortunately, seeing a death. I put out a TikTok and I say, you guys know what to do, because they do. Survivors will not stop until they shut down the plates. I have full confidence that any place that we go after with this community and how dedicated they are, we're going to make it happen.